In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can replace this boring screen with this beautiful native splash screen in a Flutter application. Ready? Let's go. First thing first, let's add a splash image to our Flutter project. I have already created assets/images folder in the project's root directory. Now let me grab the splash screen image. Let's add it to the assets/images folder, and this is the image. I'm using an image of size 640 by 640. Next, let's add this Flutter native splash package to our Flutter project. For that purpose, let's go to installing tab. Let's copy the package name and version number. Go to Visual Studio Code, open up pubspec.yaml file, and let's add that package under dev dependency right here. Hit save so that the package will be fetched. Next, let's specify the splash screen details below dev dependencies like this. And now let's go through it. Here we are specifying that we need to generate the splash screen for Android and iOS platform, and using the color option we are specifying the background color for the splash screen. Using the image option we are specifying the splash screen image path from the project's root directory. And if you want to use different color and image for Android and iOS platforms, then you can specify those details like this. But for this demo, we'll be using the same color and image for the Android and iOS platforms. So we'll remove this section, and now let's hit save, open up terminal, and in the terminal we will execute one command which will generate the splash screen for Android and iOS platform using the configuration that we have just provided in the pubspec.yaml file. So let's execute command dart run flutter _native_splash : create. Hit enter, and as you can see, the command executed successfully. And now let's run our application to see how it's looking. I have deployed the application on both platforms, Android and iOS. Now let's run the application on iOS platform. And on iOS platform, our splash screen is looking very good. Now let's run it on Android. But on Android platform, our splash screen is not working. It's because from Android 12 and onwards, the splash screen is handled differently. If I run the app again, it just shows the app launcher icon. And this emulator is currently running Android 16. To fix this, we have to specify some more details in the pubspec.yaml file. First, we need to add a new splash screen image for Android 12 and above devices. So let me grab the image, add it in the images folder. This image is of size 1152 by 1152. And to create this image, we have to follow some rules. Please visit the link added in the show notes below for more information. Next, open up pubspec.yaml file and specify the Android 12 splash screen details like this. Now let's go through it. Using the color option, we are specifying the background color for the splash screen image. We are using the same color that we have specified over here. And using the image option, we are specifying the path of the new splash image that we have created for Android 12 and above devices from the project's root directory. Hit save. Now let's go to the terminal. And again, we have to execute the same command. Dart run flutter _native_splash : create. Hit enter. The command executed successfully. Now let's run our application to see how our splash screen is looking. Our splash screen is now looking good on Android 12 and above devices. Now let's see how to add a branding image to our splash screen. First, let's add the branding image to our assets/images folder. Image has been added, and this image is of size 840 by 240. Now let's open up pubspec.yaml file, and in this file we can specify the branding image details like this. And we need to specify those details under Android 12 section as well, like this. Hit save. Now let's go to the terminal. Let's clear it out. And again, we have to execute the same command. Dart run flutter _native_splash : create. Hit enter. The command executed successfully. Now let's run our application to see how it's looking. I have deployed the application on both platforms. Now let's run the application on Android emulator. And the branding image is visible on splash screen for Android platform. Now let's run it on iOS. The branding image is visible on iOS platform, but the bottom padding is missing. To fix this, let's go to Visual Studio Code, open a pubspec.yaml file, and let's add a bottom padding for iOS platform like this. Branding bottom padding iOS. And here we can specify some value. Hit save. Now let's go to the terminal. Let's clear it out and execute command dart run flutter underscore native underscore splash colon create. Hit enter. Command is executed successfully. Now let's run the application again to see how it's looking. Our branding image is now looking good on iOS platform as well with bottom padding. And lastly, let's see how to implement the dark mode for splash screen for Android and iOS platform. To support dark mode for splash screen, we can specify the details like this. Using this option, we can change the background color for dark mode, even the splash image and the branding image. But for this demo, we'll be just changing the background color. So we'll remove this image and branding part. And let's specify this color in the Android 12 section as well for Android 12 and above devices like this. Hit save. Let's go to terminal. Let's clear it out and again execute the same command dart run flutter native splash colon create. Hit enter. The command executed successfully, and now let's run our application to see how it's looking. I have deployed the application on both platforms. Now let's run the application on Android, and this is how the splash screen will look for the light mode. Let's close the app, change to dark mode, run the app again, and this is how the splash screen will look for the dark mode. Now let's go to iOS, run the application, and this is how the screen will look for the light mode on iOS platform. Let's close the app, change the theme by using the keyboard shortcut Command Shift A, and now let's run the application again, and this is how it will look for the dark mode for iOS platform. And that's it. With just few simple steps, we are able to implement native splash screen in a Flutter application for Android and iOS. I hope you found this video helpful. Hit like and subscribe for more awesome Flutter content. And until next time, keep coding, keep learning, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coding!